I'm Gene Crawford. I'm with Unmatched Style. If you never check us out, please check us out. We're a website design gallery, and we do a video podcast. And we talk about subjects like this all the time. So I'm here today to talk about MicroCopy because I'm a designer and I pay attention to tiny little details and things. Like I said, I'm Gene Crawford. So what the heck is MicroCopy and why is this dude talking about it? Well, first off, MicroCopy is all the tiny little details and things on a website or a web form or whatever that helps push users along, to push them into your conversion stream, or it's on the call to action or whatever. So it's really important, and I'll show you some quick stories why it's important. But first of all, why the hell does it matter that I'm talking about it? Well, I don't like to brag, but I look at thousands of websites, literally thousands of websites a week, because we run Unmatched Style, and we get tons of submissions from people because we rank websites in our gallery. So, not to brag, I think it puts me in a unique perspective because I look at websites all the time, more than your average human does. So I see the good and the bad and the really bad and the really good. But I can't say this without saying, all the people that I riff from and I read blog posts from, and just the list goes on and on and on. But these are three of my favorite people. So I like to think of MicroCopy in these terms. It's going to be the smallest little bits of copy or whatever on your website or your web form that's going to make or break the user's experience. So a little three quick stories here. Joshua Porter. If you haven't heard of that guy, you should look him up. If you go out and Google writing MicroCopy or designing with MicroCopy, this guy's blog post is going to show up as the first one. He has done this forever. But he tells this story about the first form that he ever really built, like the real big professional form. And this is like any form, if you build websites, you probably designed or built this form before, right? It's the form where you put in your credit card information. Pretty standard story here. He built it, launched it, and like we all do, we set the email to come to us just so we make sure that it's coming through and the client doesn't get mad whenever it's bombing out and stuff. But he just got flooded with failures and decline notices. He's like, crap, why did that happen? So he started looking through the database and everything, and he was finding out that people were entering their address that didn't match the credit card. So as you all know, those two have to match in order to process the credit card. So he's like, crap. All he did was he added a quick little piece of copy under that said, make sure and enter the address that matches your credit card. And instantly, all his errors went away. It was happy. So this is a little story to show you how important this kind of stuff can be. Like I said, I look at a lot of good stuff. We've all seen these guys work before. It's 37 Signals. Probably all have a Barcamp account. I'm sure these slides will be available somewhere, but there's a link to this. There's a site out there called A/B Tests, and what they do is it's like our site. They just rank A/B tests. And what an A/B test is when you have, let's say you have this copy and this button, you test it, for different users and see which ones have higher success rate. And they've literally tested, I hate that word, but I use it anyway. They've tested all the little pieces, like the headlines and the color of the buttons and the text in the button and the illustrations, and you can read about it here, but they tested all that stuff to get to the point of their new design. And they have some legendary 45, 50% conversion improvement from all that work. But they are the masters of this. They pay attention to MicroCopy like you wouldn't believe. The third and final story I like to tell is the $300 million button story. There's a guy named Jared Spool. If you haven't heard of him, he's like Yoda when it comes to usability and stuff like that. He runs a company called UIE. His company's called Usability Experts because they've been around forever. But he tells a story about this registration button. He doesn't name who the client is. I'm pretty darn sure it's Amazon.com when you read between the lines. But what it was is, Amazon, this client had a form, just like the first one we saw, and the button to take you from the shopping cart to the checkout page was called Register. And they were getting a lot of shopping cart abandonment, and they were freaking out, we got to do something. So they hired the best there is, came in with his team and studied it and everything. He found that people were not ready at that point to get in a relationship with that site. They didn't want to become members at that point. They didn't want to marry these people. They just want to buy their book or their DVD and move on. So through his studies and recommendations, he said, why don't you just change the register button to continue? And then we put a little bit of text under it that says, you don't have to become a member of the site to purchase. I forget exactly what red, but it was something along those lines. He did that. Within a week, the guy who owned the company was calling him saying, like, you're the man, you made me lots of money. They say it's like 45% conversion increases on his blog post, by the way. And within the first year, that change alone, they credit with making $300 million more than they were before. So those are just to tell you how important these little details are to what we're doing. Jason Fried, the guy from 37 Signals, he likes to say that copywriting is interface design. If whatever you're doing is part of the pixel of the screen, you've got to pay attention to it. So these are just my little rules that I think about and stuff whenever I read these blog posts. And for the purpose of this, the first one is plan out what you want to say. So if you're designing a form or a call to action on your site, say it. Just say it out loud, like, I want them to click here, or say it like you're talking to someone. A lot of times we get verbose when we write stuff. That's not what we're going for. So plan that out, say it out loud, write that down. The other rule is that users want reassurance. They want reassurance when they're using your site or whenever they're signing up or buying whatever it is from you. They want to know that you're not going to rip them off, that you're legit, et cetera, et cetera. So we need to do what we can. And I have some examples of that. When in doubt, spell it out. I think that's another Jason Fried thing. It's really self-explanatory, but it kind of rings true. And then practice defensive design. And what that means is be prepared to help. Like, the error messages have to be clean and concise, right? Maybe you can give them a message before there's an error, that sort of thing. So you really got to think about what you're writing there, because the flip side of it is you can be a little too helpful if you ever tried to use eBay to do anything. It's a terrible interface, but they have lots of help copy, but it's just not well done. The other thing is that users need context. They need to know what they're doing, what's going to happen next. So we want to inform them on that, particularly with things like calls to action. And then never, ever, ever use jargon. Never use words like server or ping or some of our other technical terms, because people don't know what that stuff means. So just some samples here of the really good stuff. I don't like looking at the bad stuff because it's fun to poke fun at it, but I like looking at the good stuff. We've seen this before, but my point here is that their call to action is a screen button. And what's interesting is that the copy in that is not register, it's not sign up. It is see plans and pricing. That's their call to action. Because they know that people aren't ready to engage just yet. They need to see how much this stuff's going to cost. They need to weigh their options. So that's what that is on their site. I like to throw up Tumblr. It is a cool service. I know a lot of people hate it right now. But this is their homepage, which is kind of nuts. Their homepage is a big form. I don't know if you can see that. But they have done this really cool thing. And they were, from what I've seen, one of the first to see to do this. I'm sure they're not, but this is what I saw. In the box, they have this .tumblr.com, so just by looking at this, where you type it in there, you know how it's going to work. Then they have text here over the URL thing that says you can change this at any time. So they're informing you that this is going to be your domain name for Tumblr, but you can change it later. It doesn't matter, and you're not wed to this. And then their submit button is sign up and start posting. It's not submit. They're telling you you're signing up, and then the next step is that you can start using this thing. So you're engaging that user, you're telling them what's going on. Mint, we probably all have a Mint account or have had at one point. They're really cool. I did until they got bought into it, and I was just kind of scared and kicked out. But I'm willing to bet this is their account sign up form. I'm willing to bet they had sign up form abandonment, which is why they've got some copy here, in my opinion, why they have some copy here that tells you how cool it is, how they're not going to rip you off, and that kind of stuff. Right there on the sign-up form, they just kind of help reassure you at the last minute so you don't leave that form. Zendesk. I've never actually used this product myself. I've heard it's pretty darn good. But their call to action is try it free. And then under that, they have some little microcopy that says no credit card required. It's not sign up. It's not register. It's very descriptive. And then, well, first off, it's interesting. They've done something where they have the plans and pricing page and the sign-up form on the same page, which is kind of a cool idea. But aside from that, they're doing some of this stuff where they're telling you this is the URL that you get when you sign up for this app. They're telling you how it's going to work, and that they're going to create it and host it right here at this address. They're letting you know that. And then their submit button is actually called Create My Free Zendesk. instead of just submit. So you know that as soon as you hit that, I'm ready to go. And you really are. It's ready to go. Dropbox, again, you probably all have a Dropbox account. If you don't, I have my card. I will give you an email. You can give me some free gigabytes. But anyway, under the button to download this app, they have free for Windows, Mac, Linux, and mobile. And that's kind of a cool little copy. There are links to more pages, but they're letting you know that this app, which is storage, which is this thing like cloud storage or storage, I don't know what that is, but they're letting you know it's going to work on everything that you have, likely. Just in that quick description. Posterous or Posterous, I'm not really sure how you pronounce that. They have a lot of cool stuff going on. First off, under the subheader, the header up here, they have a subheader. This is the easiest way to collaborate with users, and that thing rotates as you sit on the page. And they're just giving you extra little scenarios that this site is useful on, and that's really clever because everybody has a different reason for using a blogging service like this. It's not all the same. One interesting thing I like to point out about this is that Posterous started out. This is a redesign, like in the past month or so. They started out with all you had to do was email them. You could just email blog at posterous.com or whatever, and you get a blog and you can start posting just by emailing to them. Well, they completely changed that. They have a sign-up form now. And under it says, "Hate signing up? Use the email." So that's interesting in and of itself. The concept that you just email these guys is kind of complicated, right? When it's really easy, all I have to do is email them. But apparently, communicating that is too complicated to the point where they have to have a form and then tell you, "You don't want to use this form? You can email us." So that's kind of weird. It's interesting. Ning. This is another recent redesign. Somebody pointed I've done this before, and somebody pointed out that all the sites are green and orange. So I don't know if that's a new trend. Green must be the new blue. But anyway, again, their call to action is orange, like everybody else's. But it's get started now, free, risk-free 30-day trial. Again, driving that home. It's not register. It's not sign up. They're informing you of what you're going to do as a call to action instead of just sign up. Dribbble. If you're a front-end designer, you know what Dribbble is. If you don't have an invite, I'm sorry. I don't have any left. But this is the account page. It's also the same page you get when you go in to set up your account. But if you do have a Dribbble account, go in and really just look at all this guy's done a really good job of this. But like under the username form, he's telling you how it's going to be used. And it actually changes as you type it out. This is kind of some feedback, but it's letting you know exactly how that's going to work. So you can start telling people right away. Under name, they tell you, use your real name so people know who you are, even though I put a style in there. So I kind of did that wrong. But they want to know people, right? It's about people. This isn't about people gaming it, I guess, like I'm doing. But that's what they want to do. And then on and on and on and on. There's like several forms like this, but it's just chock full of really great examples. Typekit is another great site for this. And it might seem like I'm sort of contradicting myself when I said don't use jargon, but I truly don't think this is jargon. I think they're really just talking in the vernacular of their audience, because this is Typekit. This is for people like me, the front-end designers, people who know what the heck web-based type is. So they've used naming on these things like portfolio and performance, and they have subheadings like portfolio is everything you need, then performance is awesome capacity. So they're just easily, they're just telling you what these things are. They give you the details there, but the way they've written that is directly speaking to you. And then they also have another subheader: all accounts are fully refundable for 30 days, no risk. There's no reason to put that on there other than to give you some reassurance that they're not going to rip you off. And they're doing some of the same thing on the actual sign-up form, where they're keeping you informed of what you're getting and what's going to happen. Zappos redesign, guys. Check this out yet. It's a really great redesign done by the guys at Happy Cog, Zeldman, the granddaddy of all of us. But it's their redesign. But this is really cool, I think, because the search box, we've all seen it with like a Google logo and it's like search the site, or search whatever. They're actually putting in words like boots, slippers, wedges, and sale in that search box. They're using that tiny opportunity that we always use. They're just taking it a little bit further, and they're telling you what kind of stuff to put in this search box. So they're telling you what you can get from it, instead of like this nebulous, like, am I going to get like the about page and stuff in my results? Because like on a lot of blogs, there's a search box, and it's like, what the heck am I searching? I don't know what this is for. So they're using that to really tell you what's going on. And then more of the vernacular, to folks like us, they're using that up here with a 365-day return policy. In other words, 1 full year. If you don't know how long 365 days translates into, but that's kind of like funny, like we're speaking our language a little bit. So they're using those things. There's no reason to write it like that, other than they're targeting. And that site is just full of that kind of stuff. This is Genie. I think I'm saying that right. Genie. Cool. Good. I've never known how to pronounce that. Genie. Part of that reassurance I'm talking about, under the sign-up form here, under the email address box, there's a little bit of text that says, never shared, never spammed. They're making you a promise. Never going to abuse the information you give us. Right there. And I think that's a really great way to say that. I've seen it written, we promise we won't sell your thing, but that's a pretty strong promise. They even drive it home with a little lockbox icon that says your info is private. And again, there's no reason to do that other than to give you that reassurance so you don't abandon that form. Probably all heard of the Chirp conference. Maybe somebody got to go to that. I didn't. But this is Twitter's first developer conference out in San Francisco. But they put this splash page up, and I kind of like saved this for all time because I knew it was going to go away. Because I thought this was a really cool little promise they make under the. This is just give us your information so we can tell you when you can go get tickets. And it says, don't worry, we'll only use your email address once. That's a pretty strong promise for a sign-up box. Like we're only going to use it to tell you when the thing is out. So you're going to be more willing to give them your email address. When that's all this company does. If you ever heard of Carsonified, who put this on for Twitter, it's all they do is market to people conferences. That's their job. So pretty big promise. I just kind of tack these on here at the end here. I only have like 2 more, but I think this is a freaking great looking site. This is Verb's recent relaunch. And again, it's like Dribble. It's just full of really great examples to go pick around on. Plus it's not green and orange. So they have start your free trial. So it's not submit or sign up or register. And they have all this great little subtext everywhere. You provide the content, we'll help you with the rest. It's just written very well, very succinctly. It communicates exactly what it has to do, and it's not verbose and over the top like some of the worst sites are. And then this is their sign-up page, and you can see they're doing a lot of that same stuff that I've shown you. And one cool thing they're doing is in the header they have $10 a month pulled out in blue. That's a little bit of MicroCopy in and of itself. They're just kind of highlighting it, using blue, using design, but just $10 a month. That's really all that has to be up there, really. And you're like, too much or I'm sold. So this, I have no idea. I don't even think this is a MicroCopy example, other than it's just cool and I wanted to share it. This is LinkedIn, and this is the sign out page. How many of us, I had never until I'd seen this until I signed out one day. Ever thought about using the sign out page to get people to do something? I thought this was really clever. But yeah, MicroCopy is really good in the button. But they're using the sign out page. When was the last time you looked at the sign out page of Facebook? I don't know what's on it, but it'd probably be a pretty great place to try to market something. But you also want to make sure what you have there is really clear and concise because people are leaving. So that's it. Like I said, hopefully we can put these up somewhere, link to Barcamp or whatever, so you can get some of the resources and everything. But those are the resources that I kind of borrowed a lot of this info from. And that's it. Thanks.